Morning, sixth graders. Mr. Plog coming at you this morning from school, as you can see, which I figured today, why not give us a little bit of a change of scenery, right? We've shot our first two videos with me sitting in my apartment, but I would rather show you this awesome space that we have here in school. So those of you that have been in already, if you're curious, I'm sitting in the sixth grade lounge, which is just on the other side of the bathrooms. It's probably the scenery that you're going to get for a lot of the videos from here on. Now, I am by myself, and even if that were the case, I am socially distanced. So I am going to remove my mask so you can see me. And also, it'll probably be a little bit more clear to hear me too. So that's probably a plus when I'm trying to teach you stuff, right? So today's plan is we're going to go through kind of our weekly routine for class. And really what we're going to talk about is three different things. The first is how to navigate Google Classroom. Okay. This should be pretty similar for at least science and language arts and math for the most part. But also we're going to be talking about certain areas of your syllabus, which is teaching you exactly what's going to be on with your classes. And also, lastly, we're going to go through your weekly assessments and how we expect you to complete those and turn those in. Okay, so why don't we head on over to Google Classroom first? I'll share that on my screen. Okay, by this point, we should start getting familiar with the certain tabs, right? This is the Stream tab, and we'll discuss that here in a second. Now, you should have gone, to get to here anyway, to your classwork. And remember, our topics is going to be the specific day that we're on, right? So today is September 10th, it's Thursday. So we are going to take a look at the three things. First, it's the warm-up. So this should take you 2 sentences to write. What was the biggest positive of distance learning for you last spring? Because we all had to do it, no matter what school you were at. And what was the biggest challenge of distance learning last spring? So I'd like you to answer both of those. Okay. Now, you would have gone into here to get to your video that you're watching right now, and you would have noticed that there was another document in there, and we'll get to that in just a second. Okay. So I'm going to move myself up here, and we're going to go through this. It's not going to be a full screen PowerPoint because I want to have the Google Classroom over here on the side. So we're just going to click through it, and we'll go through what we're talking about in each of these slides. Okay. All right. So for Google Classroom, right? Anything that you're going to need to know is going to be in your classwork tab, okay? There really isn't anything that you are going to be doing yourself on the Stream tab. That's going to be for teachers to post updates for their specific classes, okay? Now, obviously, this isn't going to happen every day. And if you're a hybrid learner, chances are you'll hear about these updates in class as well. But don't ever write anything on the Stream tab, okay? My personal policy is if a student writes anything on the Stream tab, I'm deleting it immediately. It's just my policy. If you want to get in contact with me, we'll talk about how to do that the right way, okay? Now, each lesson is going to have 3 steps, right? The first is the warm-up. Well, we went through that already, right? And if you've been tuning in, we've gone through that the last 2 days as well. So that's the first thing that you should do, right? And they're going to be the same in person as they are online. So if you were like gone for a little while, for whatever reason, if you missed something, all you'd have to do is just access the same thing that you would do online, and you can complete it that way, okay? Now, warm-ups, if you're at home, let's say that it's Tuesday and you're in Cohort A, which means you come to school Monday and Wednesday for hybrid learners, I expect that on your off days, you're doing your warm-ups online in Google Classroom. For the days that you're in school, because we're going to discuss our warm-ups, you can do those in class and we will collect them. Okay, so you only have to do your warm-ups online if you are learning from home that day. Make sense? Hopefully. If not, email me. And the next tab is going to be the daily video tab, okay? It's basically, once again, going to be the same material, right? What I'm telling you right now on this video, I'm telling my class this day, okay? So it's not like you have to do both. And a lot of people get nervous about that, okay? Now, Watching the video is required though. It is required if you are not in school that day. There are many times that we've had in the past where students will ask questions about certain things like homework assignments or exit tickets, and they don't watch the video. Well, it's impossible to show what you've learned from a lesson if you don't attend the lesson, right? Got to watch the video if you're not in class that day, okay? Now, any other materials that are going to be important along with the video, like the syllabus today, you'll find on there. We'll go back to that once we get to it here in this presentation. Come on. There we go. Okay, exit tickets. You can think of exit tickets as homework, okay? Now, this is a little bit different than the warm-up. And the reason is because we are gonna ask that you post on this online every day. If you're in class or out of class, we want you to post on this every single day, okay? What's gonna happen is for hybrid learners, they're going to get a piece of paper that has the exit ticket written on it, and they can fill it out in class, so then they can go home or during study hall and complete it online, okay? So that sounds a little wonky, but because it's to track progress of what you're learning, we wanna have it all in one place. So it's to help your teachers help you learn better, okay? Let's see, did I miss anything there? No, okay. Now, last thing, if you have questions with any of these things, I don't understand an exit ticket. Do I need to do the warm up again? Where's the video? Things like that, please email your teachers, especially me, okay? Leaving a comment on Google Classroom, I understand sounds more simple, but you have to understand is that you are responsible for yourself as a learner, and your teachers are responsible for 100 of you. Okay, so we need to keep it organized, not just so that it's easier for us, but so that we answer all your questions, right? It's really difficult for us to do that if we can't find it, okay? So I posted my email on here. It's gonna be on the syllabus, and we'll show you where that is in just a second. There's gonna be many places. If you have a question outside of school, email us. So much easier that way. All right, so now we're on to the syllabus. I'm gonna pull that up here through the tab that you should have found it in the first place under the video. Nice, okay, so in the beginning, we'll look up to the top here. We're only gonna go through a couple sections. Each of your classes will go through a different one. Okay, so just to show you first off though, for your year-long classes, these are the names of your teachers and their email address, just in case you get confused. You can access this at any time, just in case you ever forget what your teacher's email address is. Okay. Just really quickly, we're going to go into late work. Okay. This is going to be one of my 2 specific things we're going to cover. Okay. Every Friday, starting at noon and going on till about 4 o'clock is going to be time for your teachers to get everything that you've submitted throughout the week and get it graded so that it's in the grade book for next week. So you can make sure that you're being up to date with everything that we're doing. Okay. Your exit tickets, which is your homework, right? We've established that, is going to be due the following day after it's assigned at 8 o'clock. So for example, if you got an exit ticket on Monday, we are expecting that you have it completed and turned in electronically by Tuesday at 8 a.m. Okay? Besides the weekly assessments, which we'll get to in just a little while, the only thing that's actually graded is going to be your exit tickets. You will receive a grade for your warm-ups, but that's just for completing it. The exit tickets, we are expecting you to get the correct answers because they're based off of the things we cover in class that day. Last thing. Students ask this every year. Why does late work take so long to grade? Well, teachers have a process, right? We have to do things in order to make sure that not only do we get it done, but that we get it done right. When we get late work after the due date, we still have all of our expectations to help the students that are getting things done on time, meaning that late work has to be its completely own category of time for us to work on, okay? So if you do turn in something past the due date and you're wondering why it's not showing up in the grade book, you have to understand that it is very difficult for your teachers to get those things in after they've already gone through 100 other students turned in work in that category. Okay, we will get it done. It's our job, but please be patient with that. Okay, it's going to be our mission to do our best with it this year, but it is still not easy. All right, and then the next one is absences. So we'll scroll down here just a little bit. Okay. So I'm not going to read it directly off of here, but I am going to go through a couple things. So first, we understand as a school and as a state and as a country that with what's going on right now, there are going to be more absences this year. It's just a fact. It's going to happen because even if people don't actually have COVID-19, in a lot of cases, people might feel a little sick and they're going to stay home just to keep others safe. Okay. But it's actually the great part of it is that if you are away from school, it's going to be pretty easy for you to stay caught up because everything is going to be put online every single day, right? So if you were to miss a day, you just go to your Google Classroom. Let's say that you're going to miss Thursday, September 10th, and you'll be able to do your warm up, watch your video, which is class, and do your exit ticket all online, right? So the hope is that it actually won't be too confusing for you. But if you are going to be absent and you know you're going to be absent, even if you're sick, the second that you are able to, after you find out, please email your teachers, which we've showed you how to do that, as soon as you can. And we would like it if it were your advisor. So please email your advisor the second that you know, okay? That way, if it's for something where you're gonna be missing a lot of time from school, we can talk as a staff and try to see what we can work out to better help you. The earlier you let us know, the better plan we can come up with. The later you let us know, the harder it's going to be. I hope that makes sense. We understand family emergencies. I've had plenty of my own even this year with what's going on. And I understand that it's very, very, very difficult. So don't think of it as we're trying to make you do things when things are difficult for you. Think about you communicating with us as us trying to help you through a tough time the very best that we can. Okay? It's a lot of talking today. I know. I'm sorry. Tomorrow's going to be short because we actually don't really have full-on class tomorrow. So we're almost done. Okay. So I have this up on Google Classroom here. And I know Ms. Doyle, Mr. Lamprecht, and Mr. Cathers, they're all going to talk about this in depth, okay? But it's still really important. We're going to have weekly assessments in here, okay? And the goal of it is pretty simple. It's going to be measuring your learning of concepts throughout a small period of time, right? Because the more often we check it, the more often we can see, number one, are you learning? And number two, are we teaching correctly? Especially with how weird this year is going to be, okay? So then we can fix it. We want to make them really short. And that's the point of having them often, right? They shouldn't take any more than 20 minutes for each of them. So if you have 4 of them, that is at most 80 minutes, which is an hour and 20 minutes. Compared to an 8-hour school day, I'd take that. That's not bad. We're going to post them for math, for math we will. I'm sorry. For math, science, language arts, and social studies, we're going to post them at Thursdays at 4 p.m. And we're going to ask that you have them done by 12 p.m. on Friday, which is noon. Okay. And that's to help us for grading so we can get that in the grade book. So by next week, you're able to see what your progress is. Okay. They're going to have their own topic tab. Let's take a look over here. Weekly assessments. And then it's going to have those week's dates on the top just so that you can organize it. Okay. I'm going to have a quick video, especially early on, just to give you instructions on what you're supposed to do. And then the assessment is going to be on its own little blurb underneath that topic tab, okay? You'll pull it down, and then you should see it's going to be a Google form, and it'll say Social Studies Weekly Assessment with those dates up there, okay? Next week, if you had it, it would be for, let me look at my calendar. I got to cheat. It would be for September 14th through the 18th. Okay, so you'll see that every week and it'll help you organize it to make sure that you're staying on task. All right. the quizzes that you're going to do are through Google Forms. And early on, I'll be able to quickly grade them, and hopefully we will have some sort of process later on where we will go through the correct answers and have a class discussion about it, but that'll probably be in the following week. Okay. Just this last note here, we're going to be consistent in our plans, right? Because this is a really, really different school year. Okay. You're coming to middle school to begin with. That's already tough. But now we're already learning like this, and it's really a lot to take in. I get that. So our goal is to be consistent, right? To do the same sorts of things every day so that you can better get used to it to get you at ease, right? That's the goal. So we plan on being consistent with what we do in here, so long as you are giving your best effort. You are consistent with your best effort, okay? That means, number one, when you're showing up to school, that you're giving it your best and you're doing the right things. And number two, that you're consistent with when you're outside of school, that you're doing your very best to understand what's going on with Google Classroom and asking questions if you don't know, okay? So I'm going to leave you with that. I'm sorry that this video probably took a lot longer than the others. I don't expect very many to go this long. We will meet quickly tomorrow. You'll have a meeting with your advisors. And then I am also going to have a weekly video, our weekly assessment video post, just to give you instructions on how to do it, complete it, and submit it. Okay? All right. Have yourselves a great night. Make sure you get that exit ticket done, which is, if you know you're going to miss school ahead of time, what must you do to make sure you do not get late assignments? If you're watching this video, you can always scroll back and try and figure it out. All right, it's written on there. Have yourselves a good night, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you tomorrow.